Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard Tactics video. Today's video we shall be continuing with our basic tactics series, just going through the different heavy and special weapons that are available to your Imperial Guard platoon and generally sort of doing a bit of a review of them. We've done all the heavy weapons, we've moved on to the special weapons, and today we shall be looking at the grenade launcher. Now before we get into this video, I'd just like to say a super huge, mega bunker busting thank you to a loyal subscriber to this channel, whose YouTube name is Drapetomanius Grimmar. He sent me the model that you are looking at now. I put out a while ago a video saying that I love 2nd gen Stormtroopers and I was really sad that I didn't have any. And I got an email from Drapetomanius a couple of days later saying, hey buddy, I've got a 2nd gen Stormtrooper with a grenade launcher, do you want it? And I couldn't have jumped to that email quick enough. I was like, yes please, thank you so much, me love you long time. And it came finally. Obviously it came all the way from the land of the free, the beautiful great country America, so proud, USA. I mean, I'm not American, but you know, I know a lot of American people, and I think they're an absolute fantastic bunch. And once again, just like to say thank you very much, Drapetomanius. This model is actually one of my favourites. If you painted him, I must say he is light years ahead of my painting capabilities. I'm not very good at painting, so I'll probably keep him as he is. And what I'll do is I'll actually paint a squad of my own Stormtroopers around his colour scheme so that he fits in, so he feels at home. But yeah, absolutely love the model. It's absolutely perfect. The guy's just covered in equipment and grenades like a proper Stormy. And yeah, I just want to say absolute super huge mega thank you. You know, just did not expect that level of just kindness and awesomeness. So one last final time, thank you. And you know, it's absolutely a fantastic feeling to finally have my hands on one of these models. So thank you very much. Absolutely, I can't tell you. I'm grinning from ear to ear. I can't tell you how much I love it. But yes, so let's get on with the video now then. So the grenade launcher, you guys know the format for these videos. We go through the what the grenade launcher is, what it combos well with, and where you should be using it in your platoon. So let me just grab a quick drink of this delicious freedom-based drink, Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola now. Love that classic American drink. So the grenade launcher, 5 points. That's how much it costs. So same price as a flamethrower. For this reason, they are often sort of compared to each other, the flamethrower and the grenade launcher, and often when a guard commander is choosing what special weapon to take and he's on a tight budget and he's only allocated 5 points per squad, the flamer and the grenade launcher often compete with each other. So what do you get for your 5 points? Well, you get an incredibly versatile, although possibly slightly outdated weapon. So what you get is, like the missile launcher, a weapon that has 2 firing modes. The first firing mode is frag, and that fires a 24-inch range, a strength 3 AP6 small blast. Okay, so that's obviously designed for taking out infantry. The second firing mode is the crack firing mode, which is again 24-inch range, strength 6 AP4 1 assault 1. Okay, so I should say both versions of the weapon are assault. One is assault blast, one is assault 1. So the weapon's got a decent range. Let's just look at what we're getting. 24-inch range. Okay, clearly this weapon is wants to keep up with the lasguns. Clearly it's designed to be used in conjunction with lasguns. Both got the same range. And it's also clearly, you know, it can add on some extra lasgun wounds. I mean, essentially what you think about it, if you fire this grenade launcher, if you pay 5 points for this grenade launcher and you use the frag mode, you're paying for basically a blast lasgun, which is alright. You'll probably get 2 hits with it. If you hit direct on and your opponent is spaced out semi-okay, you'll get about 2 hits. If you scatter, you'll still get 1 to 2 hits. And if your enemy's bunched up, then you could look at 3 or 4 hits quite easily. So if you think of it that way, it's paying 5 points for a souped up lasgun. Well, can't complain about that too much. But my preferred firing mode is the crack firing mode, simply because I have to admit, the grenade launchers are actually one of the weapons that subconsciously first started me down the path of go big or go home. I know I give a lot of credit to the melter gun, a lot of credit to the las cannon, but I would say the initial seeds were planted in my mind by the grenade launcher, because I literally took it. I was playing through a tournament, and I was just using crack mode, and someone said to me, "Why do you never use frag? Everyone, why do you never use frag mode on your grenade launchers?" And then it hit me. That was what my opponent said, and it hit me. I was like, "Hang on, I don't think I've used crack mode on a grenade launcher in forever." I couldn't actually remember the last time I'd used a frag grenade launcher. It had been years, and I'd never realised it. But I was so used to just firing crack, because in my mind it was always a case of, well, I'd rather, if I hit them, that I had wounded them on a 2+, because that's generally what I was doing. I was just firing at like tactical squads and being like, yeah, I still get his armor save, but at least I wounded him on a 2+. If I hit him, I got a guaranteed wound, and they always added up. And I only had to kill like 5 or 6 Space Marines, if that. I'd take 10+ grenade launchers in my army, generally speaking, and back in the day, and that's only 40 points. I only have to kill 3 Space Marines with 10. Think of it this way: with 10 strength 6 shots, I only have to kill 3 Space Marines across the course of a game. It's 50 points. Yeah, it's 50 points, not 40 points. But still, fine. 10 Space Marines. 10. I have to get my points back. I have to kill 3 1/3 Space Marines. Basically, 3 Space Marines to get my points back. And I was like, holy shit, that's actually a really good deal. So I prefer the crack blast mode, crack shot mode, I should say, because I think it's just better overall. It fits in with my go big or go home philosophy. If you're going to hit them hard. Most of the time they'll still get their armor save, but it's still good. It's still wounding easily. And also, what you've got to remember, a little hidden sort of gem is, there are a surprising number of armies out there which have got like 4+ armor saves as like a standard armor save, like Tau. If you come across Fire Warriors, boom. The grenade launcher is actually really surprisingly effective against Tau, and you guys know I face a lot of Tau, because against the Fire Warriors, which I know you don't see as much anymore, but they're still a squad here and there. Against the Fire Warriors, you ignore their armor save and just kill them out. And against the crew, if they've got a 6+ armor save, you just frag blast them and they go down. So it's actually the grenade launcher is really good at taking on light to medium infantry. Skitarii hate them. One of my regular opponents is a Skitarii player, and he hates grenade launchers because I fire crack blast mode, and it doubles out any of his good units, like Ruststalkers, for example. Strength 6, it's toughness 3, and it ignores its armor save, ignores its feel no pain. He gets a 6+ inrun against that. Against any basic Skitarii infantry, down they go. Just they can't handle the crack, man. They can't handle the crack. Space Marine Scouts are another one. Every Space Marine army you come across, well, not every, but the vast majority of Space Marine armies that you come across, they'll have that one unit of scout snipers sat back on the objective. It's like 4 snipers and a missile launcher with camo cloaks. They'll be sat back on the objective. Grenade launchers are great against them. You can put Ignor's cover on a blob anyway. Don't forget, suddenly your crack grenades are doing great. So, it's a good gun. Now, I mentioned earlier that it often competes with the Flamer, and I haven't actually had a chance to look at all the feedback that I've had on my Flamer video, but let's just get this out of the way. Okay, I prefer the grenade launcher over the Flamer, straight up. I'm not as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of the Flamer. It's too short ranged, and in the current edition, I know 8th edition's around the corner supposedly. In the current edition, there's just too many things out there that just don't give a shit about defensive Flamers. And on foot guard, you're always going to struggle to get up there and use them. So I don't think Flamers are... They're all right. They're all right. They're not terrible. They're only 5 points. But ask yourself this question. Would you rather spend 5 points on a weapon that you will probably only get one chance to use, and against the majority of targets you will be wounding on 4s? Okay, that's the Flamer. Or would you rather spend 5 points on a weapon that you will probably get to use every turn of the game, so 5 to 6 turns? Now, you're only going to hit half the time, but you are going to wound the same sort of targets on 2s. That's what you've got to ask yourself. And you can threaten rhinos and other light vehicles. That's what you've got to ask yourself. That's the comparison for me. Grenade launchers aren't great. Fielded in small numbers, they'll let you down because they need that critical mass. Fielded in 10 or more grenade launchers, you only need to kill 3 Space Marines to get your points back. Easily done. A single crisis suit, you'll probably get your points back. Easily done. Easily done. So, there you go. That's why I prefer the grenade launcher of the flamethrower. It hits every turn and it hits hard. For an infantry based weapon, it hits hard. Now, I was saying before, a second ago, that it can threaten vehicles. This comes back to my other point that I made, where maybe the grenade launcher is slightly out of date. Back in the day, I believe maybe 4th or 5th edition and before. I can't remember. I can't remember 5th edition very well anymore. But I know in sort of, we'll say 5th edition and before 5th edition, if you moved with a weapon that was rapid fire, like a lasgun, you could only fire the rapid fire mode. So what I mean by that is you could only fire 2 shots at 12 inches. If you moved, you couldn't fire 1 shot at 24 inches. And they changed that, obviously. So in 6th edition and 7th edition, and possibly 8th, we don't know yet, you can move and fire 1 shot at 24 inches and 2 shots at 12 inches. It doesn't really matter anymore. To offset that, you can no longer single tap before you charge in. What you used to be able to do is you could rapid fire and not assault, or single tap and charge in at 12 inches. So it was kind of cool. But so the grenade launcher was a means of, if you wanted to take ground with your infantry squads, or if you had an armoured fist squad, for example, what you could do is you could move your guys forward, and instead of losing all your firepower for that turn, you could still pop off a grenade launcher shot at 24 inches. The grenade launcher used to basically be, if you weren't sitting back and shooting with your guard squads, the grenade launcher used to be your cover fire weapon. It's a suppressive fire, covering fire weapon. That's what it used to do. So that's why it's a little bit outdated. It's also a little bit outdated because its strength 6 AP 4 means it can no longer blow up vehicles in one go. Now, it can still threaten light vehicles, but the reason why the grenade launcher autocannon combo, which we'll get onto in full details in a moment, used to be so potent was because you could blow vehicles up on a glancing hit. And the grenade launcher could threaten any vehicle but the heaviest armour. Only Predators and Lehman Russes and things like that could resist the grenade launcher. Devilfishes, trucks, rhinos, razorbacks, chimeras, hellhounds, warwalkers, sentinels. I think wave serpents were only armor 12, maybe. Most vehicles were armor 12, and the grenade launcher was like, here's my 5-point upgrade, or it was like maybe 8 points back in the day, but here's my relatively cheap upgrade, which I could blow your vehicle up with if I got lucky. If I rolled a 4, followed by a 6, followed by a 6, I could blow your vehicle up. Which was very doable when you had loads and loads and loads and loads of infantry squads rocking these things. That's what made them so powerful. But obviously, nowadays, in 7th edition, you can't blow vehicles up on a glancing hit. 6th, 7th edition, you can do a whole point, so the grenade launcher still has its uses, but it's no longer to be feared. You know, it's no longer the potential one-hit wonder weapon that it used to be. But basically, what that means is you're just going to shoot this thing at infantry and wound it on 2s most of the time. So it can chip off the final wound from the final hull point from vehicles, but I wouldn't rely on the grenade launcher for your anti-tank capabilities. I think if you're going to be relying on it for anti-tank, make sure you're playing at like 500 points and below. That's when you can kind of rely on it. But even then, at 500 points, I'd rather spend 15 points on a single missile launcher, which I'm pretty much guaranteed to blow a vehicle up in 500 points sort of with, than a grenade launcher. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong on the math hammer there. You know, someone tell me what the math hammer is on 3 grenade launchers shooting crack at a rhino versus 1 missile launcher shooting crack at a rhino. Someone work that out for me. Okay, I guess I could try and do it myself. I think it's not great. I think the grenade launchers have got a greater chance of hitting, but a worse chance of actually doing any damage, whereas the missile launcher's got a 50 chance of hitting, 50, and then like a 60% chance of doing some damage. So there you go. Anyway, so what weapon does the grenade launcher combo well with? Loads. It is a sign of the versatility of this weapon and of its hidden potential of how many weapons how many heavy weapons the grenade launcher pairs well with. First off, the mortar. Not a combination that you would think of straight away, but a mortar grenade launcher combo can be pretty potent. It means you've got, for a low price tag of 10 points in total, you can chuck out 2 blast templates a turn from a single squad. If you put 2 grenade launchers and a mortar on a platoon command squad, you've got a squad that can put out 3 templates for a cheap price. So the mortar is pure anti-infantry. The grenade launcher can also be anti-infantry. If you know that you're going to face a lot of orcs, if you're not list tailoring, but if you have a regular opponent that you play in the basement battles or the living room battles or maybe down the club, then yeah, why not? If you play all the time, why not take a load of anti-infantry templates if you know you're going to be facing Tyranids or orcs, or the guard even. So definitely, not a common combination, but one that in theory could work. Heavy bolter, of course, the grenade launcher heavy bolter combo works well together. They're a natural paired weapon. I mean, you guys have seen my battle reports. I love my heavy bolter grenade launcher platoon. It's not the most effective platoon. It's not OP as fuck. It's not going to take down an invisible Death Star, but you've seen it in my Blood and Shadows series. You've seen it in most of my battle reports. I like the models. I like the Mortar models. That's why I take them. And my grenade launcher heavy bolter combo, they hold their own. They tend to hold their own surprisingly. Because it's just good at killing infantry. It just means most infantry, you've got a squad which is putting out 4 shots, which are going to be wounding most things on 2s and 3s. Can't go wrong with that. Just can't go wrong with it. It's a lot of anti-infantry DACA, and it means that your lasguns are still being put to good use. The autocannon, the next one up, the autocannon. Do we even need to go into this? I mean, the autocannon grenade launcher combo is legendary amongst the guard. It's not the most powerful. It has fallen out of favour in recent editions. I myself have stopped mass taking, I have stopped spamming autocannon grenade launcher because I've converted to the go big or go home philosophy. But I still tend to take at least a platoon in competitive matches. At least a platoon. You know, just maybe it's a small one. Maybe it's a 30-man, 40-man platoon with autocannon grenade launcher. You know, if I don't know what I'm facing, I'll probably have a couple of lads, and I'm not... If I know... How to put this? If I am not using psychic support, and I get rid of all my psychics, which tend to take up about 400 points in my army, which is a lot, I will then reinvest those points in a full fucking autocannon grenade launcher platoon. Can't go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with it. And finally, yeah, it's just good. The reason it's good is because it means it helps offset the number one disadvantage of the autocannon, which is it only fires 2 shots. Essentially, what you should treat the grenade launcher in that scenario is as a 5-point upgrade to an autocannon to give it an extra shot. That's what you should see it as. If you're taking autocannon grenade launcher, just see the grenade launcher as an additional autocannon shot. Remember, it's -1 strength on the autocannon, but just see it as a 5-point upgrade to shoot 1 extra shot at -1 strength. If you had that option in the codex, like autocannon fast loader, you'd take it. So, you know, there you go. Yeah, it just means that your autocannons are really, really good at just taking out light vehicles. You know, just shredding them. You know, if you have 2 or 3 squads with this loadout, you can shred a Rhino a turn, easy peasy, or shred a Razorback. You know, easy peasy. Even Chimeras, and heavier transports are just going to get decked by it. So, you know, and it's great. And it also, obviously, that the autocannon struggles normally against infantry because of its low rate of fire. But with the grenade launcher, it now allows you to threaten infantry fine, because you're basically firing 3 shots from your grenade launcher, wounding things on 2s. No worries. The final weapon that I would say it combos well with is the missile launcher. The reason for this is the missile launcher can fire a frag. The reason for this is both weapons are incredibly versatile. Both weapons are the jack of all trades, master of none. You know, both weapons have got frag blast mode, so you could fire 2 templates per squad. Both weapons have got a crack mode, so you can shoot high strength shots from each one. You know, you can use them to threaten those light to medium vehicles. I mean, what you'll tend to find is if you've got a missile grenade blob squad of 40 men, what you'll tend to find is your 4 missile launchers will normally get like 2 pens on an enemy vehicle, and then your 4 grenade launchers will get that last glancing hit to knock it out, because most vehicles are 3 hull points. You tend to find that the grenade launchers are able to just about keep up with the kind of targets the missile launchers are shooting at. Because most of the time you won't be shooting missile launchers at armor 14 vehicles anyway. Occasionally armor 13, but most of the time you'll be shooting missile launchers at armor 12 vehicles. That's what they're really good at taking down. And your grenade launchers can keep up with that. So, there we go. Overall, I would say that that's why it's good with the missile launcher. You guys know I'm not a big fan of it going with the las cannon. They're just not quite compatible. The las cannon is the big daddy. You know, when you get to the las cannon, if you've decided you're going to invest in a las cannon, you might as well go the whole hog and pay for the melter gun or the plasma gun. Don't bother wasting 5 points, because you'll find your las cannon is shooting things like Imperial Knights or monstrous creatures or riptides or whatever, and you just need, you know, your grenade launcher is going to be you're going to find it lagging behind. So don't recommend it there. This video is already dragging on much longer than expected, so I'm going to try and wrap it up fairly quickly. Where should you put the grenade launcher? Honestly, it's pretty happy anywhere, but its number one favourite home is the infantry squad. If you don't know what your basic infantry squad is going to be facing, and you want to keep it semi-mobile, you can't go wrong with the grenade launcher. If you don't know what you're going to be facing, you want to keep it cheap. If your infantry are little more than bullet sponges, but you want them to still contribute to the fight, go with the grenade launcher. If you are taking an autocannon platoon, if you're taking autocannons in a platoon, take the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher can kind of do pretty okay in the platoon command squad as well. Actually, let's go back to infantry squads for 30 seconds. Infantry squads themselves are very versatile. Grenade launchers are also very versatile. The two match up well together. That's why grenade launchers belong in infantry squads. They're really good, and it means that whatever your squad comes across, it'll at least have a decent chance of damaging it. Okay? That's what I wanted to finish off on. Same sort of applies to platoon command squads. If you've already decided you're going to invest in upgrades for platoon command squad, if you're not going to leave them bare bones like I normally recommend, you can't go too wrong with a sort of light vehicle hunting platoon command squad. You know, if you take a platoon command squad with an autocannon and 2 grenade launchers, that's pretty cheap. It's 20 points, and it means that your junior officer and his guys will be able to contribute to the fight all game long. Can't go wrong with it. You know, stick them in the top level of a ruin or a building, or ensconce them in a bit of cover, but where they'll still be able to draw a line of sight. That's where you want a loadout like that. I don't think they're good in special weapons squads. Special weapons squads are designed for doing one thing really, really well. So, like, you either have flamers, or melter guns, or plasma guns in your special weapons squads. Snipers, special weapons squads have been kind of superseded by rattlings now. Grenade launchers are just, you know, they don't do... Putting grenade launchers in a special weapons squad doesn't help your platoon do something it couldn't already normally do. Okay? So, flamers on your special weapons squads, so you can drop out the back of a Valkyrie and burn the shit out of something, or melter guns, so you can drop out a Vendetta, or melter guns, so you can drop out the back of a Vendetta and melter gun something. Shit like that. Okay, so there we go. Really long video. I can't believe I've done a 30-minute video on the grenade launcher. Honestly, I've tried to keep it quick, but fucking hell, maybe I just drove on and on, I don't know. But I've tried to keep it quick. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know you guys know that I have a bit of a hard-on for the grenade launcher. It's not my favourite weapon. That's a lie. It is still my favourite special weapon. But it's not necessarily the best special weapon. You know, it's not quite in there with the full go big or go home tactics. It's sort of just on the line. It can just about join in. But it's not a true go big or go home weapon like the melter gun or the plasma gun. But in low points games, in platoons that you don't know what you're going to be doing, or for general usefulness and utility, you can't go wrong with the grenade launcher. It's a pretty solid all-round weapon. So thank you for listening. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Once again, thank you very much to Drape Tomanius Grimmer for sending me in that awesome grenade launcher stormtrooper. Absolutely love it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.